Jai Shri Krishna. Today is Saturday, May 16, 2026. Moon is now in Krittika Nakshatra, in Aries, along with Sun and Mercury. All right. So when you are born and in your birth chart you have Moon in Krittika Nakshatra, it doesn't matter if it's in Aries or Taurus. Please watch the video till the end part. I will also try to put part 2 video at some point when I get a chance. So 3 things at the start. One, do follow the channel so that you are notified and you get the notifications. Number 2, also please share your comments as well in the comment section. 3, I do teach free and live classes in Vedic Astrology every week on a Wednesday at around 7:20 p.m. Central Time. I've been doing it since the last 5-6 years or so. So you got to come to a Clubhouse. So download the Clubhouse app in the iOS or Android, and you can then add the Vedic Astrology Club, in Clubhouse, and then you can join. Yeah, live sessions and even past recordings are also available. All right, if you are born with Moon in Krittika Nakshatra, it can be Mesha Rashi, Rishabha Rashi. Okay, the 2002 year was difficult, assuming you are born in the 70s, 80s, 90s, etc. Right, 2002 was difficult. Now, Kritika Nakshatra, it's a broken nakshatra. Okay, it's Sun Nakshatra, so it's got a lot of Agni and fire, right? The deity is also Agni here. Now, it's a broken nakshatra, all right? It is in Mars Rashi, right, which is Aries, and then it is also in Taurus. So one pada is in Aries, and 3 padas of Kritika Nakshatra is in Taurus. All right, okay. Now, so there is a little bit of different characteristics between people with Moon in Kritika Nakshatra Mesha Rasi to Moon in Kritika Nakshatra in Rishabha Rasi. All right. Okay. Now, we'll also discuss that, but Kritika Nakshatra is closely kind of reference to the Pleiades star, right? It's like a think of they call the 6 maidens. Okay, they're the 6 maidens who, where the energy of Shiva actually came out as 6 sparks of light and fire, and the radiance, right? And it came as 6 boys, and the Kritika nurtured them, the 6 maidens, and eventually, they were united together by Parvati, and you have the 6 heads, which is Kartikeya, Shanmuga, Skanda, Murga. Now, so he is considered the god of war, right? He is the main deity, Muruga, okay, Skanda. He is the god of war, commander, right? Of all the armies. Mars is also the commander in a way, but Mars' energy is associated with Skanda Muruga. He possesses also very nurturing energy, protective energy, but fierce qualities. Okay, very strong, fierce qualities, fighting qualities. All right. Now, Kritika, the word itself is coined from Kartikeya, who is the son of Shiva and Parvati, right? Of course, he's got a brother Ganesha, right? And they had a bet about the mango, the story goes, and how he got upset with it after going 3 times, around the world, versus Ganapati went thrice around his parents, Shiva and Parvati, and got the thing, right? It's the knowledge versus the action. So he decided to move far away. Now, there is a myth, right? There is a myth, or there is a kind of speculation that, Muruga is just a Tamil deity, right? That is really not the case. Muruga Skanda is associated with South India. Now, South India back 100, 200 years ago was very different than what South India is today. But I would tell you, he starts from the Karnataka belt, Kerala, Andhra, Tamil Nadu. today, what we call, right? Here is where you see Skanda Muruga is associated. Now, this is also the truth that you don't find many of the Muruga temples, Skanda temples in northern part of India or anywhere in reality, right? And now our books says it, Skanda Puran says it, and you can also really find it. So somewhere, whatever the books is saying and whatever the reality is, you can actually connect the dots, and they are not like mythology. They are the truth. Yeah, you got to find the truth and the essence in the stories. Okay. Now, Aries energy, right, has got a lot of Daksha Prajapati energy. Okay, and in general, so the Krittika Nakshatra in Aries has got the Daksha energy, which is the goat ram. That is why these people also have a lot of headaches, right? Headaches, migraine issues, all right, stomach issues as well. They will usually have the anger issues are more for the, because Daksha is also known for famous for anger, right? So the moon in Aries in Krittika Nakshatra, only one pada will have all these things of Daksha, okay, Daksha Prajapati. Now, the energy is also very pure, but it's very raw and intense heat energy, which is of Agni, okay? And they also show a lot of independent traits. They can be very independent person, right? But the minute when it comes to Taurus, Rishabha, okay, in Rishabha, what you see, it's where moon gets exalted. So moon is exalted in Kritika Nakshatra Pada 2 at 3 degrees, okay, in Rishabha Rasi. Now, what you see is it's you see the energy of arts, crafts, creativity, beauty, emotions. So even the speech, right, is not of fire, but it's more of jovial, creative part coming with it. But the one in Kritika in Mesha, you will see some kind of that, the stronger argumentative or even fiery speech, anger coming with it also. Okay. Now, it is not about good or bad, but I would say that it has to be controlled. All right. Okay. Now, the parents of Muruga Skanda is associated with Shiva and Parvati. The nakshatra of Shiva is Ardra, which is also Rudra, Ardra energy, which we'll discuss later when Ardra nakshatra comes. Parvati is associated as Dakshayani, Sati, many names, right? Parvati, etc. But one of the energy of Parvati is also associated with Mrigashira. Okay, and I'm saying that why? Because for two reasons. Okay, so you will understand what it means when there is a Mars energy and Rahu energy in a way, right? The Skanda also has got that fire energy. Okay, now naturally Sun Nakshatra, Kritika Nakshatra, because it's a broken nakshatra, right? The duality of Kritika exists more in Kritika Nakshatra people in Mesha Rashi than Kritika in Rishabha. Okay, the duality. Second is also the being a Sun Nakshatra, they are very closely connected with these nakshatras, right? Number one, Mars nakshatras, right? We spoke about Mars now. They're also connected with Ketu because Mars and Ketu are very similar energy, right? Moon nakshatras, right? Very strongly with moon nakshatras. Then Jupiter nakshatras, okay? So Sun nakshatras means, in this case, Kritika connected to other Sun nakshatras, which is Uttara Falguni, right? And then you have Uttara Shata. Okay. Next is Moon nakshatras Rohini, Hasta, and Shravana. Mars nakshatra will be Mrigashira, Chitra, Dhanishta. Okay. Ketu nakshatras will be starting from Ashwini, Magha, Mola. Right now, I missed about one more nakshatra. I missed, I think, Rahu, because of the father, right? So it is Ardra, Swati, and Satapisha. Right. This is where the biggest connection is. Okay. All right. So this is where the connection is. This is where the karma is. So for these people, as a good remedy, Taipusam. Taipusam means sun enters Capricorn. Moon in Pusha Nakshatra. Panguni Uttaram. Okay, Panguni Uttara means sun enters, moon in Uttara Nakshatra in Virgo, sun will be in Pisces. So both are full moons. Okay, and the third one is Vaikasi Visakha Nakshatra. Vaikasi Visakha means sun will be in Taurus and moon will be in Visakha Nakshatra in Scorpio. These are all very famous. Okay, very, very famous functions. Go to a Skanda temple. Do specific archanas, pujas, whatever the Skanda temple says. Tuesday is also associated with Mars. You know, just the same way in Tamil Nadu, you have the 6 abodes of Muruga, right? This Aru Paravidu, they call it. You have very similar energy of Muruga in Karnataka also. In Skanda as Kukke Subramanya, Gati Subramanya, etc. Right? Okay. If you look at some of the symbols and stuff, right, it's a sharp object. Okay, it's like a cutting thing, a razor, a knife, a axe, right, a flame also, right. Any of this is associated with Krittika Nakshatra. Muruga came into existence because of the brothers, right, Surapatma, right, and then Simhamukha and Tarakasura. They all got the boons when they performed to Shiva that only the sun, Shiva's son, can kill them, right? So eventually, Muruga had to come, right? And then, you know, he had Veerabhadra as his commander and everything to start the war to eventually kill, you know, Tarakasura, Simhamukha, and Surapatma. Okay. Now, this is a mixed nakshatra. Krittika Nakshatra is a mixed nakshatra. It's got the characteristics of soft, nurturing, but sharp. Okay, both. Right? This is what you got to be very careful. There is sharpness associated with it. It is also like a knife, like a cutter, axe, razor, blade, anything you can think of. Right? Okay. Now, the deities associated, I explained, is Kartika. Sun is also because of Sun Nakshatra, right? Agni. Then you have Muruga, right? All of it is all associated. Kartika, Skanda, Muruga, all same names. They can be very critical. Their words also can be very piercing. They have the ability to find faults, which they can, which is nothing wrong, but you got to pick and choose. They can be very impatient, right? And anger also can be extreme. Now, the extreme anger is more associated with moon in Krittika in Mesha versus Rishabha. Okay. So anger management issues are seen in Mesha Rasi, Krittika Nakshatra versus Rishabha. It's a watery nakshatra. Okay. This nakshatra can also make a female rough and tough person. Okay. Especially if it is in Mesha Rashi. Mars owned Rashi, Sun Nakshatra, Sun exalted. Okay. I mean, in the Rashi of Mars. That's what I meant, not in the Nakshatra, right? Moon is only exalted in Krittika Nakshatra and Rishabha. So this is where the difference is. Sun is exalted in Mesha Rashi, Sun Nakshatra, Krittika, plus Mars is the ownership. Okay. So the difference, if you see here, is it can make the person, the individual of Moon in Krittika Nakshatra in Mesha to be rough and tough. Okay. Strong personality. Right? Even if a female is there, can have a lot of male characteristics and stuff like that. Okay. Be a risk taker, problem solver also. Okay. So it can give you a guy personality of anger, boldness, etc. Okay. So independent, ambitious, all those things, right? But they are very penetrative. Okay. They can be very penetrative. The speech can be very sharp. Okay. The areas for them for health wise is hip, right? Hip, loin, the head of the crown head, especially the crown chakra and the headaches, right? Stomach issues as well. The animal or bird associated is peacock. Okay. Mukha Skanda is associated with peacock also. Female sheep, goat, ram, and crow. Okay. These are all very passive animals. The number associated with Krittika is 6 or 7. Krittika is typically 6, but it's also 7, right? The best way for them to get channelized with their strong energies is, you know, they can pray everything 6 times or 7 times. Gayatri mantra, right? Even up to 108. Kanda Shashti Kavacha daily, right? At least once. And of course, Agni, Om Agniye Namaha 6 times or 7 times daily. Then Skanda, Om Skandaya Namaha 6 times, 7 times, it's okay. Then Angiras is the Saptarishi, so praying to Angiras, Om Angirasaya Namaha. Angiras' wife is Surupa, Om Surupaya Namaha. Angiras, another wife is also Smriti, Om Smritiye Namaha. Okay? All right. Now, the Nakshatra temple is Sri Katra Sundareshwara temple, right? This is in a place near Nagapatnam district, okay? It is in a place called Tarangambadi. Tarangambadi, Kanchanagaram it's called. So it's called Sri Katra Sundareshwara temple in a place called Kanchanagaram in Tarangambadi, Nagapatnam district, okay? Now, luck will change for these people at 23, 27, and 43. 23, 27, and 43. All right. Again, this is part 1. Please share your comments, and I'll see you soon in another video. Yeah. Jai Shri Krishna.